Bro, so much has happened since the last time I made one of these. So much is different and so much is the same. Um, it's crazy. Uh, the first the first little video diary journal thing I posted was in January, and I thought so. January was a really strange month for me. I I I feel like I had an awakening of sorts. Um, which this would be like the third now, or second real one. The first one was kind of like, uh, let me stay on topic. But yeah, January was a weird month. Um, I spent the whole month kind of like drunk in a way. I think like drunk on life, or like drunk on like, you know, existence itself. Yeah, it's hard to explain, and I don't even want to explain it because I felt insane when I was experiencing it. But I had a very specific way I thought that the rest of my year was gonna go, um, while I was in that experience. And looking back on it now, I understand fully that that was my naiveness, naivety, naive. I don't, you know what I'm trying to say. Um, but yeah, looking back on it, uh, I had no idea what the year was gonna bring to me. I knew it was gonna be. I knew it was gonna. Oh, tea break. We're drinking some matcha green tea today. I probably should take the spoon out, but hey. But yeah, looking back on it, I knew that it was only gonna be good things. Well, not only, but I knew it was gonna be positive things. Ultimately, I knew I was stepping into a new, you know, a new stage in life and stepping into a new paradigm, right? Which I think kind of mirrors what's going on in the world right now as a whole, you know. Um, but I knew it was going to be ultimately positive, you know. I knew that towards the end of the journey, or not even the end of the journey, but I knew, you know, the the ultimate experience, the ultimate end was a positive end, right? But I was not prepared for the road. um, yeah, and so I wanted to make this video, this specific video, to talk about what I feel like, um, a big lesson I'm kind of learning right now when it comes to, you know, self development and growth and all these things. I feel like for the longest time, I've always, I feel like I have to sneeze. It's allergy season too, bro. And the pollen is like, it's killing me. Um, but they went away. um, but yeah, I feel like for the longest time, uh, you know, I was always an aspirational child. Like I always knew I was going to do incredible things in this world, and I wanted to do incredible things in this world. Um, but for the longest, I felt like I had to become something else. You know, like I think a lot of the times when we have big dreams, when we have big aspirations, we feel as though we have to become this ideal, made up future versions of ourselves. You know, this perfect, uh, you know, zero flaws, just completely infallible version of ourselves, and we kind of put it off, put that person in the future, and we're like, okay, when I can become him or when I can become her, um, then I'll be, you know, then I'll be able to do the things I want to do. You know, then I'll be able to have the experiences I want to have. And I think what that does is continuously push off anything positive you want in your life to the future. And, you know, time is an illusion. Time is a concept. So it's like the future doesn't actually exist. The past doesn't actually exist. These are things that happen, but they all happen within the present moment. So it's like, you know, constantly feeling like you have to wait for a future that may or may never come, you know, to do the things you want to do. Um, you know, or even be the person you want to be, right? Because that's the other part I'm realizing. Uh, I have no notes. I have a little journal entry, in front of me. So like this is gonna be super, just. But yeah, the other part I'm realizing is just like this idea of potential, where it's like I feel like that it kind of goes back to the whole gifted kid, the gifted kid meme. Honestly, I'm gonna call it a meme now because it's kind of a meme, or it was a meme at least. Um, the whole idea where it's like gifted kids burn out after like high school or whatever, and end up doing nothing or like being kind of unremarkable. I think the whole reason behind that is this idea of potential, this idea of you have to live up to some made up ideal, right? This collection of ideas and collection of traits that is made up is just thoughts. They're not real. Who you are will never be this perfect, without failure, without flaw, like person. It will never happen ever. And to continuously hold yourself to that standard and continuously strive for the unattainable, not the attainable that isn't quote unquote realistic, but the actual unattainable. Perfection does not exist. And to continuously hold yourself to a standard of perfection is suicide. And I think for the longest I felt like who I was or who I am in my present moment was not enough, and I know I'm not the only person that feels like this, right? Because it's not something I've gotten over or anything. It's something I'm fully conscious of, and I'm trying to consciously fight back on. But it's something I deal with every day. This idea where it's like, what if I'm not doing enough? What if I'm what if I'm not enough? Like that's really what it is, and it's a deep insecurity. It's a deep insecurity that comes from, and I'll reframe it in the way where it's like, it comes from a positive place, because it comes from the knowing that you have something in you, the knowing that there is something in you that is, extremely powerful, something in you that is capable of incredible, insane things, and we feel as though we have to make this thing come out here. We feel this thing in here and we have to make it come out here, or we have to look for it out here to make it real, right? When ultimately it's like, it's real because it's in here already, it's real because it's felt, and you can tap into that and move from that place right now, right here, as you are, you don't have to be someone different. You don't have to, build a better wardrobe. You don't have to, like, there's so many things that go into, and it's like you can get into the whole like capitalism discussion, but like that makes me angry, so I try not to think about it too much. but like there's so much, and I feel like a lot of times we freeze. The problem with perfectionism is it freezes you. It doesn't actually allow you to grow, because you feel as though you should be perfect now, right? It doesn't allow you to grow into a person that you actually want to be. It doesn't allow you to actually move towards your potential, because you feel like you should be all of that right now, right? And because you're not, and because you never will be, right? You'll never be this perfect version of yourself. You'll never be this like flawless version of yourself. You will continuously feel as though you're just not, meeting the mark. You'll continuously feel like you're missing something. Something will continuously be broken in you because you're holding yourself to a standard that's unattainable, completely unattainable. And why would you do that to yourself? You know, that's what breaks people. That's what causes burnout. You know, it's moving from insecurity rather than moving from that inner power that you have, that you can feel and that you can tap into. It's moving from a place of, you know, what's in here and what's in here isn't as real as what's out here. So I need to find a way to see it out here, you know? And that's the whole idea behind like manifestation and things like that too, right? It's like you have to feel it in here and know it in here before you can see it out there, you know? But we flip it so often. We flip it and make it our enemy. Honestly, we make it we make it something that works against us rather than something that works for us. Yeah. But if you can get to the place where you can validate who you are right now and validate what you're experiencing right now and validate, what you know right now, and say that this is enough. If this is all there is, I'm good and I'm gonna keep doing what I want to do. If this is all there is, if I never achieve this ideal version of myself, this is good enough for me. I'm happy with the person I am. I love the person I am right now. You know? If you can come to that place, everything in your life will change. And you'll find that all the things you want will come to you effortlessly, bro. And that's what I'm experiencing right now. And that's what I'm realizing was, and I'm getting emotional. Bro, because it's like, it's crazy. Because it's like, bro, that's what I'm experiencing right now. And that's what I realized, that it's like all the things you want, you can have all of them. Like you can have all of them, bro. Like, and you don't need to prove your worth. Like you don't need to prove like you don't need to change or doctor anything about you. You just need to show up and put in the effort. Like you just need to like do the thing that you want to do, and it'll all come to you, bro. Like tea break. But yeah, man. Love yourself. I don't got anything else to say, bro. I don't got anything else to say, cause I feel like I'm coming into a season where all the things that I felt like I could only experience in a future that would never come, all the things that I could only experience once I, reached this threshold, or once I became this person, or once my skin clears up, once my hair gets longer, once, I gain some weight, like all these things that I've been insecure about my whole life, like all these things, you let these things stop you from even feeling like you deserve the things you want or the things you want to experience. Like you gotta give it to yourself, bro. You really gotta give it to yourself, honestly. Like you can't wait for anyone to give it to you, bro. Because no one will. Everyone else will ask you to be something else. Everyone else will ask you to do something that they want you to do, right? If you continuously wait for other people to give you the things you want in life and wait for someone else to tell you that you're allowed to have this, they're going to want you to be what they want you to be. And if that's not the life you want to live, if that's not the person you want to be, if you don't want to constantly, be putting on faces for other people and constantly be shape-shifting for who this person wants you to be and who this person wants you to be, like, you have to love yourself now and validate yourself now, bro. Like, that's the only way. The only way is to love yourself now. not love yourself when you're perfect, and hate yourself when you mess up, and hate yourself when you slip a little bit, fall into a bad habit, hate yourself when you don't wake up at 5 in the morning every single day and take a cold shower and meditate for 30 minutes. Like, no, bro. You have to love yourself fully, love yourself into doing those things. And then you do those things because you love yourself, and because this is a person, like how you would treat. There was a YouTuber, Profound Pondering, and he says this thing where it's like, treat yourself like a friend. How you would treat your lover, treat yourself like that. How you would, because that's and I'm gonna jump into a whole nother topic, and this video is already too long. So just love yourself. Love yourself, bro. Love yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself. Show up for yourself. Do for yourself. Rely on yourself. Speak up for yourself. You know, be committed to yourself. That's all you have to do. That's literally all you have to do. That's why we're here. That's all you have to do, bro. That's the key. All right. I love you. All right.